respond at this comprehensive questionnaire. So out of the 590 responses received, about 63% of the total number of individuals that responded addressed this question of the research infrastructure just after the researcher mobility. It was the second, if you wish, key area that was thoroughly analyzed by those contributions. 101 written contributions from European national organizations, and if we are looking at the profile of the responders, about 50% were in fact experienced and early stage researchers. 28% were either research performing or funding organization, national and regional governments, businesses and other types of organization. 12% were citizens sending in their input, and 9% of responses were in fact on behalf of universities and higher education centers. So, as I was mentioning, 68% of the respondents ranked research infrastructure as the most urgent issue in order to achieve ERA by 2014, just after the researcher mobility. If we are looking, in fact, at the different responses with regards to reducing the difficulties for optimal exploitation of existing research infrastructure of pan-European interest, the first point on almost everyone's agenda, so more than 80% of the responses, focused on developing more synergies between European and national actions, as we have heard also from Dr. Herrier. Another few important points, all over 70% of the responders, were the increased EU support for transnational access to research infrastructure, the strengthening of the interoperability of instruments and scientific data at EU level. I'm just imagining those 20 kilometers of CD. It must look impressive, and if you are putting that this is only one single research infrastructure, and seeing at those in my field of activity, which is medical research, we very fast arrive at very impressive amounts of data that need to be managed, curated, and properly stored. A next very important point is the increasing of awareness at EU level of access opportunities, and here I think that all of us has a lot to do in raising awareness of this existing infrastructure and how we can join, how we can participate, and then last but not least, reinforcing open excellence-based access through national research improvements. This was for the past, but of course that we have quite a number of research infrastructures that are on the roadmap, and that we hope that by 2015, at least in large part, they will be with us. So a next set of questions were in fact identifying difficulties for the next generation of pan-European research infrastructure and means to reducing these particular difficulties. The increased public funding came in first, in the opinion of the stakeholders. 80% of the respondents pinpoint that that would be, in their opinion, the most important issue. But then there were a series of others that are, in fact, looking at coordination. So, second point was the increased role of the EU in helping member states to reach agreements on construction on operation costs, developing the more harmonized rules that have already been mentioned, integrating national research infrastructure into these pan-European entities, and setting up regional partner facilities. So if we boil down the messages from the stakeholders, we can say that in first place is this development of more synergies between European and national actions, with hopefully increased public funding in the area and increased role of the EU in helping member states to reach agreements on cost of construction and operation of the new European research infrastructures. The next two slides, in fact, are given some of the highlights from the written contribution in the fill-in, if you wish, the blank, ideas from the stakeholders or how we can better address the issues put forward. So, first point is this involvement of all stakeholders at national, regional and European level, the enhancements of synergies between the S3 research infrastructure and other EU initiatives. One example would be the joint programming initiatives. We have a few that are up and running now. Improving the relationship between research infrastructures and industry. One of the points of Dr. Herrera was that we have this research infrastructure, let's better use it, but not only the academic community, but also the industry would be a good partner in using this research infrastructure. Open them up, provide training, that issue also have been brought up, and standardize evaluation criteria. For instance, establish common ERA evaluation criteria for European and regional research infrastructures. Of course, we have a series of these RIs which are already here, so we don't really need to reinvent the wheel. We really need to build on the success of the S3 for the development of the new RIs, to build on the EU strengths. It has been emphasized that we have to continue to support coordination and networking of research facilities and transnational access of researchers. We count on all of you that you are going to advertise together with us and promote researcher awareness of European research infrastructures. We really need to go digital and exploit better the potential of e-infrastructures, and obviously clarify, because some of the guidelines, some of the procedure may seem complicated. It is also that the community needs to get used with what is available out there and exploited in their benefits. So clarification, legal guidance on and support for EU legal status, in particular with regard to intellectual property rights and open access rules, have been pointed out. So, from the stakeholder perspective, the way forward was that, in fact, we are going in the right direction. Despite all the gloom and doom, there are very many things that have been accomplished, and we really need to build on what has been accomplished and take it forward. So no major changes need to occur. We need to take the opportunities, and attention needs to be paid to the economic impact of the new ERA research infrastructure capacity, which presents this significant market potential for scientific instrumentation. The regional partner facilities that could contribute to a more balanced development of the ERA and to the circulation of knowledge. And obviously, we need to look not only elsewhere, but everywhere. We do have financial tools that are available. We do have the structural funds, and hopefully enlisting them for the construction, for the upgrading and maintenance of RIs would be a very good way forward. So I would say that my presentation and the results of the public consultation are very much in line with what has been said in the previous presentation, and we are looking forward at the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think this was an excellent overview about the results, and I think it has given us also a lot of input for the discussion later on. I would like now to ask Gudmund Host to give his presentation, and would ask you then to come over with your questions after this presentation. Gudmund, could you give your talk? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.